And welcome in, everybody. We've got a lot to talk about here in this live, and if you've been just paying attention day after day after day, what did I call yesterday? What did I say the last few days, right? We've been talking about don't fall for the FUD, why backtests and liquidations will be a blip before XRP's pushed up to all-time highs. We've had a big backtest. We've talked about, don't worry about the bear because we've got to go back on these drops. So I see a lot of people that are a little freaking out right now, so to say. But just going into the charts very briefly before we even go into anything else, what have we drawn out here for weeks? What have we talked about for weeks for when this happens? We know the zones. We don't need to be afraid of it. That's why if you watch day after day, I all but drew this out. Oh, I took it off yesterday when we were talking in the live. I forgot, but we had this drop down to the liquidation, and I've drawn it out. We've drawn out this pattern formation, and we knew if it fell below that, that's not a good sign. But we've been talking about hitting the liquidation on the back end, but also I feel like this has been a lot of times we've talked about. Let me go to the right chart. I got 100 charts. We've talked about if it fell below 223, I've circled two spots I think it's going to go. But I've talked about that $1.98 to $2.07 roughly, or $2.04, whatever it'll be in real time. But there's a strong liquidation zone there. So that's the area I've been targeting. And better yet, if it didn't break out here, we got the double rejection at the major pivot point at $2.65. We have that $1.50 point down there. That's the fair value gap. That's something that I was very disappointed when XRP came down to $1.61 and didn't hit it. So now we have that epiphany here that could happen. We've had an artificial breakout. We couldn't confirm the breakout by holding 223. Now we really have no choice. It's either we tap that uptrend at $2 and roughly, what is it in real time? $2.12 roughly, or we come down to $2 or lower and we have to test this area. And if we test this area, it's going to be interesting because I'm not so sure we're just going to hold it, but that's how we make our inverse right shoulder. This is not, I don't think this should be news to anybody. I think if we just take our emotion out of it, we pay attention and we don't get so involved in our own emotion. Did I not say yesterday or earlier? Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday that I sold DGB. When I said I sold DGB, it should have been it should have been something to tell everybody like, oh, he's selling it for a reason. Like, why would he be selling it? Or when I said I've liquidated all my holdings and now they're sitting, I have like, not all of my holdings, but my ones outside of XRP. I don't like to sell XRP at this stage because I had bought so many additional to take profit over $3 that I like to have at least 10,000, a little bit over 10,000 always in my pocket. Don't ask me why. It's just something I like to do at this stage of the game. So I don't care if it goes to it. I'm not selling any of my XRP. I've already made 36,000 off of XRP on this run up. And I have no ill will about it. We made a significant profit on MXC when it rode up, significant profit on ZBCN over the last week when it rode up. And I told everybody yesterday, for me, when MXC was around 006, I said, take fucking profit. For me, if you don't want to do it for yourself, what did I say yesterday? And I was harping on everybody. You've had a great ride. Take profit. And I'm not saying it to blow smoke. I can see things on the chart. If I'm saying things, you have to acknowledge it. Please, like I think I've earned that at this stage. The back test that we looked at was that 0.003. And if it holds that, then we can, or 0031, and then we can move up to the next layer. But now if you took profit, you could sit through this, and then you could actually see what it's going to do from here. And then it's all profit you're riding through. Sell volume, not very strong. This is exactly what I want to see on about 50% retracement. So now can we have another opportunity? If it wasn't for crypto.com, I might be thinking about buying this again. Even after making, like everybody knows in here, the last week, and I'm not shy about it, made about $17,000 on 2 trades between ZBCN and MXC. And then I took some out of the market because I don't want to have it all on crypto. Oh, I don't have my Cash App on here, damn it. because I've been shifting it onto here so that I can make a play on either emerging markets or maybe a mining stock when it's ready. So I've been starting to target the next one, and I told everybody don't buy data yet. Remember, I said data's got a target down, and we talked about the target down. It's filled it, but it's is this going to be the setup, or does it need to come down with the market conditions? I thought it was going to come down farther. And then now that it broke the structure, now we can start to see some semblance of a pattern. It tightened here. So now we can see, and this is where I would tell everybody maybe to start targeting. Remember MXCL, we said maybe one layer down and then it makes its case. I think maybe this was the start of a consolidation to where it was trying, but it didn't have enough steam. And what if it comes down to 008? So I think opportunity is starting to loom. I really think opportunity is starting, but you've got to step back and not be so afraid of what's in front of us. Like, there is so much profit if you just pay attention. I don't charge for anything. You don't have to do anything special to get the information. That's not what I'm about. I just like to put out what I'm doing. And if you follow 100%, not 100%, but if you just follow the plays and not a play like, oh, he's doing a futures trade. No, I'm talking about a play that's developing over time. This is a play right now developing over time. What I feel like might be happening here is that this has come down and it's trying to create its inverse head and shoulders, but it hasn't came down for that second drop. So what I'm thinking could happen here, and this is just my own speculation, of course, I did the same thing with MXC and we freaking nailed that to the wall. A 00064 buy before it goes up to 006. That's a huge rally. And yeah, crypto.com was a nightmare, but I was still able to make in profit, and it cost me almost $2,000 on the sale, which is why I'm never going to support them as far as buying it off of their exchange again. If it's just a token there, now I can't buy MXC until further notice, until I find some way of doing it. I'm not paying the exchange anymore. My hard-earned work, my understanding of what was going on, netted them over $2,000 on my trade. So, not anymore. They can make their own money. ZBCN, however, made me hella money because it was on BITUNIX and I barely had to pay anything. I think it was like $30 when I sold it compared to $2,000 for the exact same amount of profit, roughly. So it just, so anyhow, the compelling case for me here, and you don't have to listen to my mumbo jumbo. This is just what I deal with, and I'm trying to be more personable so you guys understand. So I don't necessarily think that was the left shoulder. I think this was the setup. This might be the left shoulder down, or maybe this was, and this is an extended head. I don't know, but I think this was the start of consideration down to a double bottom. I think could be what's playing out here. Well, maybe that's, oh man, that would make it very nice. So if you're asking me, somewhere around that 008, we're going to look at this real hardcore. Real hardcore. I mean, it dropped 8%, so make sure you see if there's going to be any, what it's going to do here. But, yeah, no, there's targets on where I think would be the opportunity. And I think that's the opportunity. But you guys know, there's got to be a reason when I sell DGB. And I sent it to LBank, so at least I didn't have to deal with Crypto.com's BS. LBank still had a little bit of fees. It wasn't like using BITUNIX, but it was about 15% of what I would have had to spend on Crypto.com. When I tried to sell it, it offered me, fuck, I can't remember. It was like $18,600 or something. And when it, on LBank, but when I tried it on Crypto.com just before I sent it over, it was offering me like $16,400 or $200. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for that. So we're going to monitor this. And if it comes down here to that 008, I think we need to pay some serious consideration to what's going on here. Like serious consideration. This is an IoT token and coin market cap by IoT tokens. Let's see. We'll go back to the actual rankings. Yep. Did he go back in his room? Okay. So right now, Moonchain is 994. Its market cap has dropped way back compared to where it was. Streamer is at $8.99. So, I mean, these are not the top ranked by market cap. Remember Moonchain when we started watching it and I was telling everybody it was ranked like 3,000. So Moonchain's come way up. There's a few other ones that I really like, but I'm only going to support them if they're on BITUNIX right now, just because of what's going on. But I look at this so deep. You guys might think I have like an addiction to XRP. It's more than that. I have an addiction to earning and making abundance without having to go to an office. This is what I do. I do this several times a year. We have moments like this, and then now for the next few months, I could coast if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I like to grind because every day's a new day. You know, it's a new chance. And like, it's either I'm doing this or like yesterday I was working outside for 4.5 hours in my gardens and I created new spots and it looks so good outside. And then I take my fitness seriously and I go to the gym and I do what I have to do. I fast 16. I'm trying to self-improve, but also have it ooze out now in the sense that I want to be more positive and I want to be able to push this in a sense that I'm not a financial advisor. I never say to buy this, but hey, we're looking at this target, so pay attention. Or if I'm talking about it for days, hey, there's liquidity zones and this is what could happen and this is the problem, and I circle it on the chart days in advance. We need to pay attention, and look where I circled it and look where it's going to hit. That's got to be some kind of timing, right? It's just an understanding, like if it breaks through, we're not 70% of the move. We know the apex of this setup could be September of 25 based on the lower formation, which is what's more valid. And we never back tested the lower formation. This is normal. There is nothing wrong here. Like, there is absolutely, positively zero wrong here. In fact, you could technically ride this until the end of the year, hit that fair value gap, and ride the top end of this the whole way, or just drop through. I prefer it to go boom, 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 boom. And it will eventually. There's zero doubt in my mind that XRP is going into discovery. Now, is it going to come before 28? I don't know. My time zone of when we're going to get this massive parabolic spike, I think our most profitable time is going to be that 28 to 32 area when this technology gets fully institutionalized to where nobody has a choice. There's amendments and all these other signed bullshit that push this out until like November of 28 to where technically a financial institution only needs 50%, you know, the old HTML and the new framework with the ISO. So there's still leniency. You know, I was wondering looking at myself on camera, because I can tell, like, I feel like my face was looking thinner the last few weeks when I've been doing my lives. And I'm like, what is going on? So I weighed myself today, and it's the lowest I ever weighed. When I weighed myself 3 weeks ago, I was 178 or 177.8. That's literally the lowest I've ever been with the muscle I have. I've never had this kind of muscle before. And I weighed myself today and I was 174.4. And I'm like, that explains a lot. So I lost like 3.4 pounds, but I put on muscle and I switched to a more high protein diet. But I fast 16 hours a day for like over 3 years now. So it's nice to see that it's actually working and things are going in this manner. Because now it's kind of like it's melting off in a way. It's nice. Very nice. I don't mean to gloat, but good afternoon. 12:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, May 30th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I had a lot to say, so now I want to say hi to everybody. I seen there was a donation. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Let me pull this back up so it can show me the recent comments. 116 people watching this time of year. That is unbelievable. I mean, this time of the day. Crypto Cooter, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. And please, for the love of God, look at that pinned comment. My pinned comment. Download BITUNIX and stop losing money to all these exchanges. Like, literally, I can't even tell you how awesome it is to be able to swing in and out of things and not in leverage. I don't do the leverage side, but 99% of the time it's spot. And I make hell of profit off of spot. I don't need to play the game of this bullshit futures. No, neither do you. Sir Smokes a lot. If I have the knowledge I have and I don't like futures, if you can't read the chart and understand what's going on like I can, and you like the futures, ask yourself why I don't like the futures. Sir Smokes a lot, and Jacoby, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months with the XP Predictor. One, it's bad fundamentals. Two, you look at the chart too quick and you want things too quickly. Slow down, let it play out, wait for these drops, and capitalize. But you need to build proper fundamentals. That's also why I tell you, when you got 3-4x on something, you take 1x, you pay $3,500, you got $3,500 in your pocket, it's still worth 12 grand plus on the screen. So on your fancy screen, you're still happy. And then you can go buy the next asset. Isn't that what we did with ZBCN? We took the profit, went over to MXC, and right away it went up 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, you can't make that kind of stuff up. Two things most people never heard of or wouldn't even touch, we bought, and at the same time went 4 to 7x. In a week, while the rest of the market's getting shit. And then when I told everybody, hey, this is the time, get out, you know, you might get a little more, but make sure you take your profits. Now it's down 28%, 30%. You just got to watch this. Anyhow, I get so excited sometimes because when the market starts to do what you understand, there's no better way of feeling like a teacher or trying to push some kind of information when it's running the way that you see it happening. Or you have it out here and it starts nailing your spots. Like, I could have circled this anywhere. Did that not hit in the circle on the drop? Like, to me, that's like, all right, we have forward understanding, which means if it does have that drop sometime between now and June 6th, next Friday, we should have some kind of resolution to this kind of movement. We'll either know if it's going to hold this or not. Whether it's holding it at $2 and about 12 cents, roughly 11 maybe, or if it comes through to the next layer, or even if it has to fall right through. And I think, remember how we've talked about when a pattern is formed, because it's like a trading algorithm and there's trading bots, it likes to not identically 100%, but it likes to do exactly what. So if it's an inverse pattern, it likes to do it on the right side. So with Bitcoin, I can show a perfect example. When it was at 111,000, I drew this out and I said, listen, Bitcoin's creating an inverse head and shoulders, but you can't jump the gun. If it goes up, it goes up. That's fine. It's great. But if we want to build that inverse right shoulder, there's a potential this can go to 88,000. I've had this drawn out forever. I didn't know it was going to follow up the same way and come down like that. That's just miracle happening. That's just, and that's not even me understanding it. That's just knowing how the pattern's set up. This is the most it could do. And then it would have to come down in some kind of fashion to have a violent back test. But then it's like, okay, I want this to happen, but at the same time, that could create the head and shoulders pattern. And then we could have our first retest in a significant way of 64,000. Now it's down to 63,000. So knowing all these variables, exciting, stressful, and exhilarating all at once. But if you understand what you're seeing, is it really that stressful? Well, if Bitcoin has to reverse like this, don't our altcoins have to? Well, if that has to happen, well, I'm selling out of the ones that are not like XRP in the sense of, hey, it's come up so far. I'll be damned if I'm selling the ones that are just sitting there and then rebuy it back. How about the fact that I've already made 30-something thousand in profit on XRP on this run up because I bought twice as many and I showed everybody at 38 cents, hey, buying 5 grand here with the XRP Bitcoin pairing when it dropped down to 38 cents. And we're going to sell it along the way, but we're going to keep 10,000 extra so we can sell it on the, I mean, these are little strategic things that can happen. And I point it out because next time it happens, you've seen it with MXC. My goal was 2 million. I bought 4 million before that run up when it had that 15% drop. And what happened? Fa-foo. And I said, instead of selling, I'm buying it because everybody's selling it. And that 15% drop was exactly what we drew on the chart for the head to form. And when that starts happening, it's like, well, I'm not going to get nervous. This is what we drew out. And I had a post in my Telegram. I came on and did a live and talked about it. I didn't sell. In fact, I might be out of my mind because I bought twice as much. Well, being out of my mind, I ended up paying twice as much now, which with the move it had was nice. So, but with that being said, I feel like there's opportunity here and I don't want everybody to freak out. I know everybody's freaking the fuck out, but we can't. This is the time when it's the best time to be around. And honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked there's 143 people. And I'm shocked that we're over 41,000 subscribers. I think people are gaining confidence in this channel when they come in now because they see, I don't care if it's bullish or bearish, I'm showing you the actual charts. I'm telling you the actual fundamentals. The fact that the futures is down to 214, 213, They're going for liquidity squeezes. That means the spot prices are going to follow. So don't be surprised in the next couple minutes if the spot prices drop by 2 cents almost. They generally follow that liquidity of the futures. That's why I like to have the USDT perpetual chart on there as well. Now it can bounce. Okay, so the perpetual chart was liquidating. So we'll see. It's showing you right now that it's trying to liquidate lower. So if Bitcoin drops below 104, you're going to see another drop here. If it bounces back here in the USDT, you see that USDT chart bounce back over 215, it's going to catch back up the spot. So you want to see which one wins out here. Right now, I'd say the futures chart is having a problem coming back up. That 0.25% doesn't seem like a lot, but a 10x trade, that's 2.5%. Somebody could have been right by their liquidation zone, and that could have tapped liquidations. Now it's starting to even out, but that's brutal for futures traders. And now we're going to see what level plays out now. It's exciting when you watch it and you understand. Let's see. Black Ox Matters, welcome in. Alec Tony, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, along with Big Dog. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Ben Graham, good morning. Trading with J-Ride. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Mark Caston, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Jacoby, good evening or good afternoon, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor, along with Papa Wheelie and Jorge, who is a very trusted mod. Jorge says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Positivity, everyone. Hit the like button to show your support for Tom and his channel. Absolutely. And if you're in here, don't forget to subscribe. Join the 41,000 people. And it's great because I understand that about 10% of the people will be here at all times. The rest of the time when we have drops, people might show up. But when we have big rises, I know a lot of people will show back up. So it'll be exciting. Before when we did the lives when things were going way up, 400 or 500 people. Maybe this time we'll start pushing that 1,000 people. Because normally, in the last cycle, when it was down like this, we'd have like, what? You guys remember? How many people did we have in when XRP was diving and wasn't going up for several months? 50 people, 75. Some of you have been here, you could say. Now we're seeing 150 people even in these same moments. So that's twice as many people. So if you do the same kind of math, we could be looking at 700 to 1,000 people in the lives when we have a big parabolic spike now, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's an unbelievable feeling having something like this pushing now. It really is. Mosey here, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Maybe, as says, maybe 2025 we will see a pump, but 2025 is the big... No, don't say that. Not necessarily. We're just going through, people. This is the natural progression. Cowabunga, good morning. John the Farmer, welcome in. Ooh, John the Farmer. I've been doing a lot of farming myself. My backyard looks like a little farm now. Farmer John, I love your sausage. And, well... and what is it? Farmer John hams. Farmer John, isn't that what we used to watch on Supermarket Sweep? Yeah, Farmer John, yeah. Good stuff. Nick Morales, I'm glad to see you in here as well, and thanks for being a very, very, very intuitive part of that Telegram. People ask you a lot of stuff, and you dedicate a lot of time. I appreciate it. McMichael, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. You indeed did catch a live. Is there an FVG for ZBEC? This moonshot has to end soon. We'll look at ZBEC. It'll eventually end. It'll end. It's starting to end, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I targeted that 0033 was the first layer, but I think 00209 is where it has to come down to. That's what I'm looking at over time, just like when I was looking at 0014 before we bought back in. So I'm looking at that 0024, and then I'm potentially going to buy back in for a nice move. Data down 10%, exactly what we want to see. MXC, for the love of God, you better have took profits. I was begging you yesterday. It's down 32% today. See, Julie, why I sold? So please, that's 1/3 of your portfolio if you're an MXC only. That's all I'm asking is take profit. I'm not asking for much. You're up fucking 6x. It's not a lot to ask. Let's see. Papa Wheelie, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Thank you, Tom, for everything. Let's see if data gets us running here shortly. It might. We need to get down, I think, to that, possibly that I know we talked about this already, that 008 something level. 00, but that's my #1 target right now, is to see if this happens, and then I'm going to have a heavy target, because that could be a big W reverse on a head. So that's something I'm definitely paying very close attention to. Very, very close attention to. You know, the mining stocks are kind of calling bullshit on this drop right now. Even though silver's down by 1.4% and gold's down, what is it right now? Almost 1%. The mining stocks have barely moved, and they're up on the week. They're kind of calling bullshit on this drop. I don't know what's going on, but the mining stocks are definitely calling nonsense here. Like, mining stocks and precious metals were coming down to support levels as where crypto was going up to resistance. The reason why, so you guys know the story. I talked about it yesterday. I sold the algo around 21 or 22 and sent it to BITUNIX. Well, sent the algo to BITUNIX and sold it, and now it's sitting there. You know, there's so many things you can send to BITUNIX and just, I got like 25,000 in cash on BITUNIX now. Even though I sent a little more over to my Cash App, because I wanted to build it up. I think it's at 16,500 on Cash App, but that's all from all these, because I don't want to carry too much, because I know when these prices drop, if it cost me 30,000 before, it should only cost me theoretically 20 on this drop I'm looking for. So I got to take that profit for my own. That's how I make profit in crypto without messing my stack before drops, after rallies. I think it's a fundamental understanding. Once you do it, you'll never have to. That's why I never have to put money in the crypto. I haven't put money in crypto since 22. I haven't sent money from a bank account into an exchange since like 2022. So when I literally say I feel like even when I go up and down, it's not like I'm spending my hard-earned money. It's because I haven't since I put into XRP, especially in 21. After that run up, I didn't have to do anything. I think I put a little bit in 22 for the swing trading. But after that, I mean, I've not had to deposit money in a crypto exchange in years. We're just riding off of what we know. And that's how you build independent wealth. Anyhow, just send it. I took profit on ZPCN yesterday. Awesome. Crisis says this guy is always right with XRP price. I appreciate that. I think it's just the understanding of the market. Like, I can do it with 100 different things like I show. But I like to hone in on XRP because that's what my name is. XRP Future Millionaire. But I also show a lot of other things. But yeah, you're right. I watch XRP. Some would say I'm an addict. But you have to be an addict with something to understand every fine-tuned thing about it. Like, if you were a mechanic, don't you want to know everything about the car? So I do, my basis is my analysis on XRP, and there's a lot that comes off of it because I'm XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. And don't you think if I thought everything was good, I would have kept DGB and not sold it all yesterday when it was just about to have that big breakdown? And now we're below 0.009. It was right around 1 cent. And now it's like, how catastrophic is this going to be? And it's because we haven't went into quantitative easing yet in the way I want. The big, beautiful bullshit bill, I would just call it the big bullshit bill, but they call it the big, beautiful bill. But it's the big bullshit bill. That bill in itself is going to allow us to have big quantitative easing, but we need rate cuts for crypto. And what's going to happen is, it's funny, we're going to see our crypto going up. We're going, oh my God, look how much money we've made. The only reason we're making the money is because they're going to de-dollarize the dollar at the same time. So everything has to go up. Look at Venezuela. Who cares if something's worth $10,000 a fucking share? Their money ain't worth dick. You got to walk around with a wheelbarrow to buy a loaf of fucking bread. Or you can just bring an ounce of gold and you live like a king. Yeah, millions of their Venezuelan dollars to buy a hot dog. But the guy who walks around with the silver fucking ounce, that guy's living like a fucking champ because his money maintained its wealth. Big time. So if you want the US dollar, if you think it's going to go down, precious metals, emerging markets, like, please pay attention. If you think I'm good at crypto, just imagine what I can do for you for your retirement. These are my emerging markets that I built over the last couple of years with the $7,000 a year you can write off on taxes and kick the can down the road until we retire. You get a monthly dividend. So I'm doing that for 25 years as a way to balance a way to write off on taxes, but also build an independent savings account because I don't have retirement. I basically worked for myself my whole life. I've been an independent contractor for most of it. So, you know, I don't have that big retirement plan. So anyhow, I mean, it's going to be bigger than most because of what I do, but and not in the traditional sense. So, man, there's so much data. I just want it to drop fucking 30% right here. I'm telling you guys, MXC, we did the same thing. ZBCN, we did the same thing. I put a target out there for you guys. We watched that, and if it happens, my God. My God, if we do it again with all of these again, I feel more confident now than I ever have. Because I'm doing it in more than just our traditional sense now. IoT, but I'm looking at the ones that aren't necessarily known. Everybody used to tell me Moonchain was a joke. It may be, but there's significant bounces. And it's an IoT token. And the cool thing is, like, Data's only got 1.2 billion tokens total. 1.12 billion are in circulation. Only leaves about 800 million left. That's substantial for the pricing we're at. If we can get under a penny, oh my God, Lord have mercy. We haven't seen these prices in like 7 years on this token either. So it's not like I'm just telling you it for no reason in the last couple of days. It's because we're going into unprecedented territories. We haven't been here in a long time. Oh yeah, MXC is going to come to many exchanges. I guarantee it. It will. Munchin, welcome. Yes, we'll take a look at XLM for sure. XLM had a failed breakout. Well, not a failed breakout, but it never got to have that final boost. So now the chances are it's going to backtest in a way. And here, let me just take this off so I don't confuse you. It's going to backtest in a sense, but it's hard to dictate. Like, I think more like this. So the backtest would... Oh, I already put it down. So the backtest is going to be somewhere around 20 cents. So I think that's what's going to happen. Maybe it hits down here by the end of May, but if it comes into June, you could come as low as 18 cents. So, but I think it's building something. It's just, we're on the top side of this. So now if we reevaluate, let's say it comes all the way down here, reanalyze, then the breakout would get you to 48. For the record, when this happens, I think XDC is going to have the biggest move when it finally hits. Remember, didn't I not tell everybody not to buy XDC until after? When I said it had the failed breakout, I sold at 7.2. And I said I'd rather have it drop all the way down here, back test at 4.2, than buy it all the way down and waste money. Because then I can buy that much more. So just understand the philosophy. And I'm going to have over 100,000 XDC when it hits this point. I guarantee it. Well, maybe not. Maybe, wait a minute. 4.2 cents. 10,000 tokens would cost, what is that? 420. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have over 100,000. If it comes down to 4.2, I'm definitely dedicating. I might have a couple 100,000. XDC is going to be massive one day. Massive. So, but same thing with XLM. It's going to be massive. I just think it's severely going to be undervalued in comparison. But this has to happen. This is not, I'm not surprised by any of this. Not at all. I'm ready to DeFi and avoid all this ROI craziness. It's pushing me to other avenues. Oh, a lot of people are going to do other things. This is what works for me. This is what works for me. I don't blame anybody for doing something else. But this is what affords me to live the life I want to live. And I understand it big time. Let's see. Gas fees are pretty expensive though, Pump Master Flash, if we get the wrong ones. But we could definitely. Hey Tom, hope all is well. What would you recommend me getting at this point today? Just get nothing. Nada. I wouldn't get anything. We're going into the weekend. XRP is getting an escrow dump on the 1st. Everything looks like it's broken down. I would be saying, okay, if I've got dry powder, when's the next 15 to 20% coming? When are we coming down to the... Right now, we're in no man's land. All we've done is break down, and now we're in the no man's zone. Because we've broken down, but not to the right levels. Like Bitcoin, it's either got to break down a little bit farther, or it's got to go all the way to 88 to 90K. So, understanding that philosophy, nothing. I'm not going to lead you into slaughter. because you don't know if right now it'd be premature. You don't know. Bitcoin, if it holds 102.5, okay. Or 102K, let's say. Maybe then it'll be our bounce point. But if it doesn't hold that, we're coming down like another 10 to 20%. I don't make the rules. I just read the rules. I'm not making them. The charts are telling me to tell everybody. And I've drawn this out before this even came up. So I can't go against what I've drew out. And I do it for a reason, the way I do it. So I feel good right now because it's working in the same fashion that we expect. I'm trying to portray it in confidence, you know, no wavering moments anymore. This is all confidence. That's why I don't pay attention to the bad comments, because I don't care. That I used to do for years. Now it's been months, and now you wouldn't even know we get bad comments, because I really don't care anymore. Nick says high protein is very important. I agree. I definitely agree with that. And the protein I buy, it's a whey protein isolate, but it's got no carbs, no sugars. The only ingredient is the whey protein isolate. That's it. It's unflavored. And then what I do is I mix it with, and I put it in my links just in case people want to do that. Because people always ask me about the nutrition, but I can't really talk about it. But I do put it on my videos. Like if you go into my videos, just because people have asked. If you just go into like the edit, or not edit, I don't know why I went to edit. But if you go down to the bottom of everything I do, I put everything I take, but the most important part with the protein stuff, I don't know if I have the protein on here. No, I don't anymore. I don't know why. I used to, but anyhow, I take it. But what I take is collagen peptides with it. And I like the one that has the essential amino acids. And it's got like another 10 grams of protein. And then I buy for flavoring, and it's only got 10 calories per. There's none of this nonsense. It's vanilla. Julie, what? Can you reach in the top?
There is no more.
Do you know what the vanilla thing that I use, the vanilla bean that I use?
He wants Oreos.
Oh, I can order them. But I use this vanilla bean. It's just a grinded bean. And it's for flavoring. What's it called? Oh. It's vanilla bean powder. It's the Gremlin. But it's literally 10 calories and no nonsense in it. 2 grams of fiber. No protein or anything, but I don't even care how many fucking servings. I'll do 3-4 servings. And I put that in there. And then my final thing I mix in it, I don't eat peanut butter anymore. I don't really eat peanuts and stuff like that. But I do like them a lot. So what I buy is peanut butter powder. But I buy the one that has the less ingredients. So it only has the crushed peanuts and yada yada. But it's got like 13 grams of protein. Maybe 60 calories. So I do like 120. So my protein shake is because the protein I use only has 100 calories. The collagen peptides is only 60. Plus the 30 calories. So I have to get a little bit of calories in there too, because I want to build substance, because I lift weights. And then with the milk, it's only about 360 calories. So, but it's got it's packed with everything you need. It's crazy. It's just packed. And then I have a little thing that I take when I work out, and it's like it's got a little bit of creatine in it, but it's got the other 10 essential amino acids that I don't get out of the collagen peptides. I had to do a very hard search of this, but I found something that had some creatine. So anyhow, it's just there's a lot of stuff that goes in. So if you think I do this dedicated, I do that dedicated, I do my outside dedicated, like my whole yard looks different. Julie, every time she walks outside, she's like, oh my God, like you're out of your mind, but in a good way. So when I get done with this, I'll go outside. I planted my winter wheat yesterday, which I have to do a little bit more because I made a new section. Hold on, I got to order my son Oreos. He doesn't eat a lot by mouth, and he won't even eat the Oreo, really. He's listening to the Oreo song, though. But he's got a G-tube, so he does eat a few things by mouth, but he won't really eat sweets at all. He's not a sweets person, which is good. But he likes to look at the Oreos and listen to the Oreo song. Tommy, I'm going to order you the thin Oreos. I promise. Yeah, I'm going to order them for you. Yeah, they'll be here in a minute. Sorry, everybody. You can look at the, let's see, XRP at 215.25. We should have to back test the drop point. And if we get lucky, maybe we bounce off this mid-tier support. So it's not all the end of the day. It's just, It could be the start of something, you know, to pay attention to. That's all. You always want to pay attention. Julie, I'm going to buy this. There's a woodlet zigzag racetrack, and it's got wooden cars with a wooden racetrack. Sounds good to me. Love it. Give my son something to play with. He's off of school now for the week. All right. Anyhow, so getting back to the basics. Done. Beautiful. Thank you for your time and patience. Mattio, welcome in. I don't know where we're going to get this juice for this alt season. No rate cuts this year. Oh, there's gonna no QE. Did you pay attention to the big beautiful bill? It might not be into play yet, but that is QE. A lot of QE, in fact. Rate cuts are coming. I told you guys, Q3. Forget the first half of the year. It ain't coming. Nick says, intermittent fasting is such a good habit. I've been doing it myself for years. Oh, my God, Nick. And the great thing is after 9 o'clock, I got no reason to eat, so I don't, it's like I can't eat. And, like, I don't know, it makes you feel, by the 12th hour, though, the next day after working out and stuff, my stomach is starting to be, and starting to get, you feel it. But that's the hunger pains, and then it goes away. But that's right when your body starts to eat the fat, literally. Your body's starting to eat your junk. And then it burns, you know, if you have bad cells, that's when your body starts looking for all the bad stuff, and it starts wiping it out. You know, you start to go into ketosis. Ketosis is not bad unless you're diabetic. Diabetic ketosis is a whole nother ballgame. But ketosis for the body, that's when it starts to attack the bad cells. That's what you want. Let's see. Anthony Venegas, good morning. If it drops target, I'll get... Ooh. Nice. CJ2 Pilot, good afternoon, and thanks for being in Town Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad. Julie, I ordered that. Tia, and I got it from CVS, so it'll be here quicker. XRP King, thank you so much for the $2.79 donation. Hey, Tom, what would you recommend getting today? Absolutely nothing at this point, I don't think. And thank you so much for the $2.79 donation again. But I think I seen you join Tom's Army as well. I did. XRP King, thanks for making me the happiest person in the world today. Yesterday, I had somebody join Tom's Army in the live when I did the midnight live the night before, but it was the 29th technically. And 2 days in a row now, somebody's joined Tom's Army during the live. That's incredibly awesome. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And my face is superimposed on there. A slightly chunkier face, but still my face. But I think that's circa 2017 or 18. Let's see. Frankie Fresh, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. What's going on, my friend? Man and his dog, good evening, or good afternoon. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Devin, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. And thanks for being a very trusted mod as well. You just want to buy more DGB? Oh, I want to. But we got to watch this next point. We'll watch this all so close, I promise. This is what I live for, moments like this. Jamie Nelson, welcome in. Thanks for being in Town Zone for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Let's see. True, good afternoon. I'm so glad to see you in here, friend. Another exquisite charter like Nick. These are people you can ask in confidence, and they'll tell you the truth. Adam, good afternoon. Nick, you love the sausage. That's because you understand the mindsets of our audience. You gotta play to the crowd. But yes, Farmer John's sausage is delicious, as we say. And we do have Farmer John here, so you know we don't want to go off the deep end with some skews. UB2B subs, EBCN took out investment and a little profit, letting the rest ride. Now, I appreciate you taking out profit and being a very, very important part of this community. He's our meme genius, by the way. But also being in Tom's Army, I see for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. My dear Lord, you are awesome. So very awesome. That is getting an update, by the way, that badge. I just got to remember to do it. I've already created the new update. I think you guys know the new badge. I mean, the new, what I use. You guys remember the Phoenix badge. Or the Phoenix, what I put on there. But you see how I added DGB with its little Phoenix? I don't know if any of you have seen this version. Well, some of you might have. But I would love to know your honest opinion. Do you like this version better than it without the DGB coming out? I love that so much. I do. I really like that so much. It makes me happy. Yeah, Daddy's going to bring it. I promise to you. It'll be like maybe 20 minutes. I promise. But just pay attention to ZBCN because there is a chance that this would be a right time before it comes down because it's going to have to retest what I believe is a gap. And Nick can help us out here. I believe it was at around 0.022 just looking back on it. I think that's where the fair gap is. I think that's fair, just like when we targeted the 0.0145 area or whatever it was. I don't know why this is down so far, but when it was there, you know, it's the same thing I feel here. We're going to probably have to come back down there, I think. ZBCN futures listed on BITUNIX. Wow, that's amazing, honestly. That's amazing. Thanks, Tom. Been planting today. I got to put my winter wheat in today, but I've done so much stuff. I've got so much stuff. Send me an email. It's droprugali@gmail.com. Farmer John. Here, let me type it in. No, seriously, because I might have questions for you, and I don't want to take advantage of your time. But I do have a lot of questions, and I can only ask AI so much out there with me. I bring Gemini with me just in case I have weird questions. Whoops. Strut Rugali. Of course I do. It never ends. Gmail. Whoops. It's so nice having this touchscreen that I'm watching my my content on and seeing all the comments. So if you'd email me at strutrugali@gmail.com, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'd appreciate it. Or Farmer John, if you go to my homepage, anybody watching, you are more than welcome to join this. You know what? Forget it. You don't have to go to my homepage. I'm just going to share it. So you guys are more than welcome to join us. Hey, who wants to be the 300th member of the Telegram? And the only rule is there are no rules. You get kicked if you're a dick. Yep. You get kicked if you're a dick, so don't be a prick, is our motto. I just came up with it just now on the spot. The only rule is there's no rules. You'll be kicked if you're a dick, so don't be a prick. That's our motto. What do you think? Not bad for on the spot. But here, let me type this in here. I don't know how long this volume is going to be. There, if you want to join the Telegram, it's right there. Just remember, the only rule is there's no rules, so don't be a dick or you'll get kicked. Or, you know, so don't be a prick. I like that. In some variation, but I'm not going to say it anymore because then it's going to ruin the integrity of the saying. So, we'll see if we can get this reversal because we're going to have to retest the upper points. But at the same time, we're going to have to test that 200 day to see if we still have strength. When you come this far, you got to tap this 200 day. Now, it might ride up into it, but in real time, it's about 102,400 area. So, we're going to see how ugly this gets. I mean, we'll see how ugly this gets. Papa Lou, welcome in. Or Poppy Lou, welcome in. Thank you for joining Tom's Army, my friend. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for joining. That's 2 people in this live. That's unbelievable. That really makes me feel special, especially when the market's dropping. Anybody can join when the market's skyrocketing, but it shows a certain level of support when it's dropping. Jennifer Krupiak, welcome in. I'm so glad to see you in here. I'm glad to see you in here, still dedicated. I know it's rough out there, especially with all the BS that's going on in the job markets right now. But I know you're very busy with your animals and such too. So hopefully everything's going well. I've been spending like 4 to 5 hours a day outside working. And my whole yard and stuff looks so different. When I walk in my backyard, it's breathtaking now. With all of the vegetables and cherry trees and peach trees and apple trees and blackberry bushes and raspberries and sunflowers and just all these flowers, all this stuff. Pumpkins and watermelons and squash and all this shit. Oh man, I feel like I'm walking into the country. When you walk in my backyard, it does not look like I live in the middle of Clawson. It's so cool. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Missed you too, DML. I'm so glad you're back, my friend. So glad you're back. Glad to see you in here, friend. Zachary Clark, welcome in. Another one that I love. I love seeing all of you in here. Lonzo, good evening. Or good afternoon. Tether can't live through the stable coin bill. I doubt it passes its audit. I know, Lonzo. That's going to be interesting. Make sure on US or on BitUnix, just put your money in USDC. That's what I do. I have 25,000 plus in USDC right now. And maybe I'll throw 500 into the future side at some point. But like I say, it's a very small percentage if I ever do. You're talking about less than 1% at that point or somewhere around there. B, what did you say? People better wake up. XRP, most manipulated crypto in existence. Sorry, went out of it permanently. Not safe investment that someone has that much control over. I mean, you're speaking crypto, but you're entitled to your opinion. Lonzo says confidence. Ooh, I like it. See, I always say Tom in front of everything's better. Tom's Pizza. Yep. Tom's, well, anything. Tom's Chinese Takeout. Tom's Smoke Shop. Tom's Liquor Store. And now you can't even get through confidence without confidence. Confidence. Join Tom's Army if you want confidence. That's a nice slogan. Lonzo, thank you for that. It'd be like the real amount of genius. If you want to be like Tom's Army, if you want to be like Tom or XRP Future Millionaire, join Tom's Army and get confidence. Would you do it any other way? You certainly don't want run-a-guns, the run guys' confidence, or some of these other slubs. I'd want confidence over the rest. But we don't want to mock anybody else. Even if they're a crock of shit, they're still making a living off of you. You don't want them to make a living off of you. You want to make a living with them. Like, you want to create abundance together, not off of somebody else. If I'm creating abundance off of you, that means you're suffering. So when these assholes create abundance off of their audience, they're living a life of luxury while you're living a life of shit. I'd rather us all live the same life of luxury. What's wrong with that? That's how it should be as an influencer, not the other way around. 52 minutes. I got to go here shortly. Shit. I think I'm going to be back on tonight, though. I got a lot to talk about. I'm thinking we're going to do 2 lives today. I don't think anybody will mind. I fasted for 7 days only on water, then met the great one. Oh, boy. Yep, when you get to about that 7-day mark, that's like when your body totally resets. 100%. Nick Morales, 0033850 roughly for top of a daily FEG. Excellent. Let me see what I have up there at that range on ZBCN. That's fair, because that first area that I targeted was 0034. So what is your 0038? I'm going to lower this then. Thank you, Nick. We were very close. I'm going to put it on your 0038, though, because I know you looked at it closer. Ah, whatever, close enough. No, I want it below there, though, because you have it at 00338. There we go. So that's about where Nick has his first layer. So that's where I had it at 0034 something. So right in the exact same spot. So the fact we had confluency in that area, that's where I would expect it to try to test. Even furthermore, though, I could see it because it never came to that 0022. And I came to that conclusion the same way I came to that 00145. It should have been like 148. I had it a little farther down than it should have been because there was a higher wick. But you get the picture. So I think that's what it's probably doing. Something like that. Somewhere in between. Interesting how the daily 20 EMA lines up pretty well with the FVG on ZBCN, and it never had its first 20 EMA test. No, it hasn't. I think it's telling us something big right now. I think that's what's happening. Yes, lots of changes, but thankful it's summer and lots of rain. So everything. Oh, beautiful. The rain and being green is awesome. Tom, I've seen a few things about a collaboration with ZBCN, and Ripple also talks about ADP and ZBCN. I haven't been paying attention to that, but that is mighty interesting. That is interesting. CJ2 Pilot. If you see more about that, send me an email. You know, strutregali@gmail.com. You know me. Right here. strutregali@gmail.com. Hell, if you ever want to send me something to my house, if you ever want to send me honey or marijuana or liquor like people have said, or anything. I've had people send me war items. I cherish them. I had some people that served many, many decades ago, the older generation, and they sent me some of their pins and some of their things that they got for honor stuff that they sent me over the years. I've had someone from Canada send me big silver dollars and just so much stuff. Haven't had stuff in a while, but I would sure as shit love to share it with everybody if you do send me something. Did we get another member of Tom's Army during this live, or is that the second one? We got a third one. Oh my God. Crypto Plumber 589. Thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. That's your first month, and I know it is because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And guess what? If you stick around long enough, you'll get the XRP 589 Moon badge. That's the 2-year badge. My God. How awesome is that? Wow. Dude, all 3 of you. That's unbelievable. I don't remember the last time 3 people joined Tom's Army in the same live. I'm speechless. We're gonna do Sunny Days here. So if you're new, you're gonna have to listen to Sunny Days. Let's see. Thank you, CJ2 Pilot. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, the Telegram. You're in the Telegram. That's right. You can link it on the Telegram instead. You don't have to send me an email if you don't want. You can link it on the Telegram if you want. I'll see it there just as easily. So then you don't have to do twice as much work. Excellent point. Aaron, how profitable are you thinking of joining? What do you mean? Not sure what that means. I must have missed something. If I could buy Canto on BITUNIX, I would. It's just the fees on crypto.com I'm not doing no more. John Boogathorpe, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. I'll be in the live later. I'll be keeping an eye on out back to work. Oh, excellent, Jennifer. I'd say probably around our normal time at 6. Normal time at 6. Crypto Plumber says Telegram is where it's... Okay, let me check real quick so everybody can see what he's talking about. I hope everybody joins the Telegram. It's starting to turn into something special here. 300 members. That is excellent. So we'll check back in here after. So just make sure you pay in. Yes, Chuck, you're in the right group. Let me just make sure that Chuck knows. I'm sure he's watching the live still. But Chuck, I just sent a message just so you know. CJ2 Pilot, thanks for continuing in Tom's Army for 19 months. Excellent. Oh, that's so encouraging. So encouraging with the 1 year badge going into almost 2. Going into almost a 2-year badge. Wow. Excellent. The support in this community is unmatched, I swear. At least from my standpoint, it makes me happy. I don't need much. I like seeing the support. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get going, but I know what time it is. I think some of you know what time it is. Some of you are going to be very surprised. I don't know how many people are still watching. 112. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. You know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not forget the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we are and we may and we will and we can't, but we did and we won't, but they say we won't and we will and we can and we can't and we will and we won't and we will. Oh yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Don't buy into the bullshit. Stay true. Not blue. Be happy. Not sappy. Because then you'll win. And look, we're going to stomp on Bitcoin eventually. It's going to happen. And I sang it the real way. I sang it a way that's only the third time I've ever said it the way I said it today. In the one spot with the glasses. So if you've heard that was only the third time I said it that way. Instead of saying, I can't see a motherfucking thing. That's the third time I've said it that version. Sometimes I like to switch it up. It's kind of like the retro sunny days. He's looking pretty good today, though. He's looking pretty good. He's holding the FUD, stomping on Bitcoin. See, holding funds. Bitcoin is the FUD. Bitcoin is the FUD.